All right. I have a little bit of time today, so I'm gonna try to code a little tonight. And let's name my stream. Kind of like this weird, like, I don't know, tired. I can hear myself. Interesting. Anyway. So yeah. Anyway, I noticed there's an issue with updating private roots. Basically, let's get this on a different screen here. So close that. So basically, if I am not even logged in, I can see like nodes that should be private. I must have like deleted some things I shouldn't have. So yeah, just gonna quickly try to go and update that, and I think that'll be it for the stream. So right off the bat, I think it's in notes, and I think it's when I render the message. So not verification message. It should be here. I think it's this thing. This thing is what, yeah, displays the message. So I just need to wrap this. I already have some like pass entered state right here that's checking something out. So I probably could just do this. Pass entered. And if it is, then just allow this input to be shown. Oh wait, no, that's not what I need though. I need it to be not that pass is entered, but that private. Private, yeah, private mode. So it's more like if we're in private mode and if the pass is entered, that's kind of probably not necessary. Huh. I'm guessing if we're not in private and the pass is entered. I think I just need that. Let's not deal with an extra variable. Okay, so let's log in and see if we see a message. Numbers. So now I'm not seeing anything because it's probably, let's do my favorite technique, console log private mode, so we can understand what's going on here. Because at this part of the code where I want to start using private mode, I'm not really sure what it's up to. So I'm just going to console log it. And it's saying that private mode is 1. So it's saying we are technically in private mode. So I want to say if we are not in private mode, then go ahead and show it. If we are in private mode, then we also have to be logged in. So maybe I did need this pass entered. Okay, so if we are in private mode and we sorry, so if we're not private, well, I need it to be, if we're not private, show it. Or if passwords entered, then show it. That should be it. So I'm logged in right now, so I should show it. Yeah. So now it's working, I think. So it's not going to show me the message because I'm not logged in. But as soon as I log in, it should show me because my password is entered. Yeah, and it is. So great. That solves that. But I also wanted to make it not show up here unless I'm logged in. So how would I do that? So that is under all pages. I think I have all notes. I'm already doing that for the sidebar, I think. Because as soon as I switch off a private mode, since it is pinned, it should show itself, which it does. So I already did this logic. I just didn't do it for the all pages or all notes. So I would have done that logic in app.js, which is right here. So something about private. The pin notes. Okay, pin notes. Could be here. Like it could be when I get. I think it could be this get. What did I write? Let's go to here. I have too many files open. Let's close some stuff so I can navigate more easily. Let's look for this get query. What is it? API pin nodes. It's right here. So yeah, it is here. So I'm saying get the stuff as long as private is 0. So I want a query like this. But API nodes. So actually I want a query like this. Let's duplicate this and just rewrite it, or like write an alternate version called all nodes. And let's make it similar to this, where PID is 0. Or PID is null. Order, yeah, sure. Okay, order by name. And it's private 0. So I just need to do end statement here. Okay. And this should retrieve all the nodes where it's not private. Unless I'm logged in, and then in which case I just want to get all my notes. Yeah, fine, I'll figure it out. Okay, so I basically need to duplicate this and say all nodes. Did I camel case that? No, I don't think I did. Okay, I camel case it. Okay, so then I'm fetching it, and then I just set the response. I have to say something here. Basically, I have to know if I'm logged in. It would be helpful if I had a helper file. Although I guess I can export it. Basically, I messed up when I originally created this app, and I would put way too many functions in this notes file when I should have probably kept them in a helper. Or rather, I should be using like use context to know if I'm in a private mode. And yeah, this app started development like 3 years ago, and back then they were still using Redux. Redux is kind of too much for most apps, and since this was just a Notes app, I didn't want to use Redux. But maybe now I'll use context, which is a bit better. I don't really want to do that though. Like if I can avoid it and save myself time, I would like to do that. I don't really understand use context as well as I want to. I mean, I'd love to learn it, but I just kind of want to get this done. So basically, use context just like it's a better way of keeping global state throughout different components. I'll have to clean this in the future, but also I don't really like React. I kind of wish I was using Vue. I think Vue is a much easier tool to understand, and personally I think my development speed definitely improves, but rewriting this when it's this close to being kind of like finished, as long as I get user authentication in it, could be pretty much done, like a bare bones version of this. I do wish I started this off in Vue, which is better, but I mean this actually helped me learn React in the first place, so probably a good thing that I did this in React anyway. Going on tangents. All right, so what do I need here? I need to know if I'm logged in and send that data to, so this private mode, wherever I set it, it gets set, of course, way deep into this notes, note data stuff. I think the best solution is actually to set a use context variable. And I'll know if I'm logged in. Like honestly, authentication is going to be a nightmare because I don't understand authentication too well. And yeah, I mean, I'm gonna hopefully try to make the most basic way for users to authenticate. I might not even add like login with Google and things like that, just create like a simple basic database, but honestly anything that can get it done would suffice. I've created my own, or like I watch like tutorials on how to create authentication. I've created my own like authentication locally, but it's kind of a pain and I don't fully remember, and it's hard to exactly relate everything. There's just like a lot of steps I was copying. This was years and years ago. So it's probably not going to be the best, but hopefully I'll get through it. But all right. Anyway, what it would be the best way? So right off the bat, I have notes, and all notes are basically on the same level. So I'd have to pass the state up to the parent and then back down to all notes. So if this is like, let's write a little diagram. So yeah, I'm probably gonna have to study use context, which would be good, I guess. Be a good refresher. Maybe I'll teach somebody else something. Do. Okay, so yeah, this is fine. Give me a brush. I'm running too many programs for my computer. But basically, can't draw if it's lagging this much. Basically, I have this notes component, and then the parent would be app. Oh, it doesn't even have. I think I'm gonna have to end the stream. My computer's just overloaded from having to open up GIMP, plus all these other work apps, plus a bunch of Google Chrome stuff. But yeah, basically I have 3 nodes, and the state lives in this left node here. It's not even drawing properly. The state lives in this left node. I had to have to pass the state up to the parent, back down to the all nodes component, and that's just like too much work. So rather than do all that, I just create like this other thing, which is like global state. I store it in some kind of global state, so everything just has access to the global state. Yeah, and I'll just have to do that. Should be fine though. In fact, once I set it up and get it working, it'll be good because I might need this for work. So yeah, I'm gonna end this here since definitely some overloading going on. I will write a to-do about that though. Alright, so let's see here. So private mode is now working, but all nodes section will need to create a global private node state, likely using Redux or component or context API. So yeah, maybe next stream I'll study the context API and create a global state for that. Although I'm happy to just have work I just did. I don't want to overcomplicate things. And then maybe I could just set up user authentication and call it at that. And yeah, it should be good. Alright. So yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here. I'm probably gonna upload some of my work now. I'd like to get it working. Oh, another thing I need to do is SHA. Did I already have this? Yeah, I already have this. I already know I need to get to it. Oh wait, no I don't. Okay, let's make that. Have it there. Let's actually bump this up in terms of priority. So basically, I mean, I don't really even want to explain this, but it's not that big of a deal. But anyway, I have like an API domain, and basically you can see everything on my nodes, even the private ones. And luckily I don't really have anything too private, but I do like this idea of privacy. So if other people want to make notes, then obviously they might want to privatize some of their stuff. I'm using Encipher it. I forget the exact domain, but that's not the site. Something like this, yeah. I'm using this site. So basically I have like some secret data, and you can encipher it by using some password. So then you get some kind of code, and then you can decipher this by just using that same password. And this is using SHA-256 to store the data. So essentially I'd want to just do the same thing automatically on my app. So instead of seeing like, let's see if I can see a note. How would I see this note? Oh, you know what? You can't actually see the notes that well because they are Huh. How would I see more notes here? Let's see. I would. It's under notes, right? So I'm selecting a name from notes. Maybe it is actually pretty protected then. No. I do remember a while ago I was able to get let's try that. Oops. Yeah, so basically I can somehow see, like, let's see if I can find something. I don't want to get into it, but I did know the correct, like, I knew the correct API call or callback. I could be able to access like any node. But luckily, once you get there, this stuff will be private. But even like this stuff, maybe I could encrypt it so with SHA-256. So when I actually need to look for it, I just decipher it and then start accessing it. But I need a password to kind of authenticate it. Anyway, all right, I think I'm going on a little too many trainings. I just want to keep it short. So I'll end this here, but yeah, now my private mode should be working. At least it should be not showing some of the private data. So